Hi everyone, welcome to Java Express channel. Today we are going to discuss a React folder structure. In the last session we discussed about how to create the React application. So let me open the Visual Studio where I created my first React application and hope you are aware how to run this application. This is completely discussed in the last video. So if you are not at watch, please watch my last video and then just continue this session guys. Okay, so first let me start with to understand the first React application. So in the React application, we have node underscore modules is one folder, public is one folder, and some couple of files are available. See here under public, source, and remaining some couple of files are available. So let me explain you clearly what is the use of this folder. First, node underscore modules. Guys, node underscore modules, it contain the React libraries, okay, and other third party libraries also available under node underscore modules folder. Okay, these libraries helps to execute the React application. It's like if you go for the spring framework, spring boot, where you can able to see Maven dependencies in your project, right? In the same structure here also, node underscore modules are available. Okay, using npm when you run this application, okay, when you create the application, these all modules, okay, these are all dependencies are available under this folder. That is the first folder, node underscore modules. Okay, and then second one is the public folder. Okay, all the assets will be available under the public folder. The first one is favicon.ico. This is the default logo of the React application. It's a very simple words, a default logo of the React application. This is the favicon, and we have another file called index.html file. Okay, index.html file, React application execution starts from index.html file here. Okay, this index.html file we can call as a main template. Okay, so in this file we have one DOM element called, we have a div tag. Are you able to see guys? This is our index.html file. This is called a DOM element. Here if you see there is a id called root tag. Okay, this file is very important. React applications work based on the component based. Okay, the components will load from here. See, div id equal to 2. I will explain you another file, then you will get a better idea importance of index.html file. Okay, div is the DOM element here. And then second, logo.192, logo.512. Okay, these logos are implementing for the responsive web design purpose. These logos are helpful to us. It's like, and we can call as a progressive web apps where we can able to use these logos. And we have manifest.json file. This JSON file is used to implement the mobile applications. Another word people used to call as a progressive web apps. That is the importance of the manifest.json file. And we have another file called robots.txt file. Okay, this text file is helpful, used to include Google SEO words, is nothing but search engine optimization. SEO represents all the words we can include in robots.txt file here. Okay, hope you are clear about the public folder. Node modules contain the libraries, and public folder, this is the default logo of the React application. Entry point for the React application is index.html file, and these two files are helpful for the responsive web design purpose. And manifest is used to implement the mobile application. And then this text file is helpful for the search engine optimization, where Google SEO words we can use under txt file. So these two folders are completed. And as I already told, all the React applications are component based. If you see here, src tag. if you see inside the src tag, we have so many files are available. Now the first file is app.css, app.js, and app.test.js. These three files are okay default component files. This app.js are able to see, this is responsible okay to display, okay, always responsible to display output screen in the React here. So we can call as a component. Okay, unit testing files are ending with the test.js files. If you want to write any unit testing, you can able to write app.test.js. When you create a component, by default these three files will be created. You can create what are the components: login component, registration component. When you create a component, these three files see .css for styling purpose, app.js, and app.test.js file. This is the responsibility of these three files here. And we have another file called index.css. This file is kind of acting as a registration file for all the components. Okay, sorry, in css represents, if you want to define style sheets, if you want to define any styles for all the components on the global level for the entire application, we can use index.css file, index.css file. And we have another file called index.js file. So if suppose if you created 10 components, all 10 components you need to register inside index.js file. And this file is very important. And if you see here, we created one app component default available. That app component I imported, and see you are registered here app component. This app component will display on the UI screen with the help of the DOM element. See, React DOM, what it will do, it will hand over our component to div tag, where you can able to see index.html file. See here, guys, there is a root tag, are able to see div id equal to root tag. So it will be hand over, let me show you the, where is that, it will be hand over this app component to div tag with the help of, see, I am getting get element by id with the root tag. This is the relationship between index.js file and index.html file. And we have logo.svg format, svg. Okay, this is called a default logo, default svg logo for the React application. And we have another file called report web vitals.js file. This file is used for the debugging process. Okay, and we have another file called setup test.js file. Okay, this file acting as a library file. This library file helps to write unit test cases, we used to call as a just, are able to see, this is for the to write unit test cases, we are using as a just library here. Okay, and we have another file called .git ignore. Whenever you are creating the React application, by default .git ignore will be added. When you are adding any file to the git, it will be ignore node modules dot, these all the file extensions will not add in the git repository purpose. And we have hyphen lock.json, this is a auto generated file, and it will be package.json file, it's kind of a pom.xml file or build.gradle file here. Okay, now this package.json file hold metadata required for the project. It contains libraries information. It helps to download third party libraries. See here, just library, React library, npm, how to start the application, and all the things, it will be available under package.json file. And we have a readme file, this is for the documentation purpose. Okay, it provides documentation to read React all the things, where if you want to, if anyone want to understand, means by using this readme file they can able to see. By default they are giving, see here, guys, The project was created by and a available project. If you start the application npm start, if you want to run any test cases npm test. So this is kind of a documentation purpose. Okay, so hope you guys are clear about the folder structure. Let me add some couple of points here. Here, who is the default component in the React application? And let me write a point. Okay, where where to deploy the React components. Let me write some couple of questions based on our folder structure. Okay, you can able to fill these answers, guys. Okay, then who is the registration file? If you see here, default component file is nothing but is a app.js file, where we can deploy the React components under src folder. Who is the registration file? We can take as a index.js file. All the components, suppose here this is a default component, you can have any number of components. All the components you can deploy on the registration file here. Okay, which DOM element, okay, which DOM element present in index.html file. Okay, DOM element is nothing but as a div tag. In this div tag we have called as a root tag here. Okay, then who is render our component? Who is render means where we can able to see index.js file. In the index.js file, see here, let me choose, this is React DOM will hand over our component to under the root tag of the div element. Okay, which file? Okay, let me write some which file is acting as a library file for the test cases is nothing but setup. Okay, we have a setup test.js file. Okay, where I can identify the libraries information means package.json file. Okay, hope you are clear about the directory structure, and okay, we'll discuss the next topic in the next video. Okay, thank you guys, we'll catch up in the next time.